Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. We are back in the garden. Today we are going to talk about a few things. Rabbits, earwigs, some green beans, some basil that died, and we are going to try a few new things in the Greenstalks. So let's take a peek around, see what's growing, see what our issues are, and then go from there. If you are new to the channel, my name is Jennifer, and we are growing in a duplex in the heart of Rogers, Arkansas, and we are a zone 7A, I think, either 6B or 7A. I've heard different things. So we moved here a couple years ago from California, where we were 9B. There's all kinds of different things that we deal with, but let's dive in. Okay, so first things first, this GreenStalk is performing beautifully. This has dragon tongue bush beans at the top. It has some little micro Tom Thumb sweet peas, which, look at that, we have got some sweet peas growing, so I'm really excited about this. And the dragon tongues, look at that green bean. We are already getting beans all over the place. Oh yeah, this is pretty much ready to harvest right here. So there's beans all over this. I'm actually today gonna pop in seeds in here because within a few weeks these plants I'll cut off at the base and let the new ones have the light, because bush beans don't just keep growing. They pretty much set a ton off at once and then they're done. Pole beans are the ones that keep growing and keep setting. I do have a pepper plant in here. Oh, look, more green beans. I do have a pepper plant growing up in here. We got some flowers on this. The parsley I've harvested a few times. Overall, this one's doing great. Over here, our pepper plants are doing great. The habanadas are really growing up. I put a marigold in. This is earwig or pincher bug damage. I'm having a lot of earwig issues, which is unfortunate. I just harvested the cilantro yesterday, so it looks pretty cut up, but lots of peppers are growing. Not sure what that bug is right there. That pepper looks a little sad. The chives are growing, but everything's growing. If you remember, I put these little peppers out here super small. So the fact that they are doing well at all is a good thing. Over here, again, more pincher bug or earwig damage. This seems to be the pest of the spring. So that is my straw flower, my celosia, and then Persian carpet zinnias, and then snapdragons. So this planter is half doing good and half not. So the celery here is doing okay. That one died. The dill is growing. I'm starting to see flea beetle damage on my eggplants, which is a bummer because that's what the dill is supposed to be stopping. But the eggplants are growing. All the seed I popped in here, I don't think I kept this moist enough, and so most of the seed did not pop up, and I lost a few of my agastache, which is really sad. But this pineapple sage, this is the actual rooted plant I planted. This was that stem that had a little bit of a root on it that I planted that is growing from just that little stem I planted. So here we're going to do a few things today. Let's see what's on top. I do have 2 agastaches up here, and this should be a hyssop. I had 3 hyssops and I'm down to 1, which is really sad. So this planter just is struggling. Same with this planter. Now this one, I know why it's struggling. All my plants got eaten by earwigs or pincher bugs. So I lost a lot of my basil plants. I'm gonna come in here and replant again. I do have a few agastaches on here. Just 3. So I don't even know which styles those are that are left, but they're there. I have some basils, not a lot. So we are going to go through and replant a few things in here today. The greens that I had covered with the netting, I will pop in a clip here. But basically, the netting was great at keeping the moths off. So now I'm going to have to watch out for caterpillars because I had to take the netting off. My plants were getting just as eaten because climbing up the seam of the netting and hiding in the seam throughout the day was earwigs, and they were eating all my leaves. And so I was getting tons and tons of damage. Like, they were just mutilating my greens. And so I said, if I'm going to lose this much, I'm just going to take the netting off and be able to keep a better eye on things. So that's what I did. It is what it is, but the lettuce is growing great. We got Swiss chard and collards, and there's cabbages that I'm going to harvest just the cabbage off of. We got kale growing great, Brussels sprouts up here, nasturtiums, and bok choy, and mustard greens, and all kinds of good stuff in here. So yeah, lots of things growing. This one nasturtium plant, there's 2 of them that are like growing like crazy. It's nuts. So I just rotated this though to give different sides sunlight. So let's take a peek over here on what's going on. One, the landscapers that we have are not touching weed eating this edge, so I'm gonna have to get a weed eater and do this, or come in here and just pull a bunch of weeds. The onions are growing. The strawberries are actually getting big, which is awesome. But if you will notice, back here in front of this owl, I have a problem. I have rabbits in my garden, and they were actually big enough to get out of here. So I saw a baby one hopping around this morning, so they should be able to leave the garden soon. They have killed one of my okras, a couple of my onions. That owl did not deter them. We have neighboring dogs that share this yard, and I think this fence protected them, and the straw as mulch gave them what they needed to create their little outlet. So that just, it is what it is. I'm not super happy about this turn of events, but there's not much I can do about it right now. So hopefully as soon as they get out, what I'm going to do is move this last fence down and put the owl at the corner, and I'm going to put twine in between these pieces to make sure that rabbits can't get in here. And then hopefully I will have no more critters in the garden. But the walking onion is doing good. It has bulbs on it. It's going to start walking. I got some okra back there growing, and the echinacea and lemon verbena. Things are looking good. I probably should fertilize here. Yeah, some of these rabbits have been sitting on my onions, so I'm definitely losing some of these. Darn tootin'. All right, let's hop over here. This planter is actually doing good. In the past, I haven't really got anything to grow in this planter. The mix that I put in here, I don't think did good. I added some compost to it this year and stirred it up a little bit. So my lemon balm is growing. It's looking good. It looked a little sketchy for a bit. My turnips are greening, but they're not bulbing yet. I put a marigold in the back. I have my asparagus pot. Radishes, I'm going to end up planting a few because I've already pulled some. But I pull them pretty young. Oop, that's a pretty good size. So I like them about this size. I prefer their flavor and their texture. They're smoother. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a few of these right now. This needs to be watered. We have been really hot lately. And then I'm gonna plant some seeds in here to replace these today and pull the weeds out of there. Carrots, something is coming across, you can see, and eating my carrots. With my luck, it's a rabbit getting in here, but it could be a caterpillar or something that I'm not seeing, or a slug or a snail. So a bunch of stuff has been eaten out of here. So we have a few carrots. I'll probably plant something else in there to help utilize that space. If we flip over here, we got a lot of growth. Because I only recorded my garden tour not that long ago. But my tomatoes are doing great. I've got some flowers coming on my Berries Crazy Cherry. The Mexican midget is taking off again, and we have the blue cream berries. Our slicing tomatoes are doing great. Our cucumbers are showing signs of powdery mildew, which is unfortunate. I need to come out here and cut those. Those are actually air spread, so that's unfortunate. But there are little cucumbers growing. Over here we've got peppers getting some growth and some height. This planter was primarily full of dirt from my friend's house, and I'm seeing a lot of yellowing, so I need to actually get some fish fertilizer out here. Something ate the top of the radishes that were in here, but the onions are starting to grow. And then these peas, something kept digging them up. I think that's a squirrel. And so I'm trying to get this to grow up. There we go. So that's the regular peas, the sugar daddies. And then this is the sweet magnolia, where these tendrils are actually edible. It grows like a ton of extra tendrils. They're super whimsy. So this one's growing like crazy. Hopefully we'll get some peas on that pretty soon. Overall, things are growing really well. We just got to plug in some holes and deal with a few issues. All right, so let's talk a few things here. There's a lot of stuff that did not start on this one, like I said. So I got to make a few decisions on what I'm going to do with these empty pockets. I don't have time to start the actually from seed again, so I'm not even going to bother with it. But I am going to pop some other things in here and try a few things. So first off, I am not going to need this over the kale because I'm not doing that netting anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in the rebar and then put these in. And then hopefully something I can get to grow up over the top of this little arch thing. Which I probably should have done this shorter one first. Oop. So this one will go over here. So I've never done this before. I'm experimenting right now. But let's see if I can show you the top of this. So I'm hoping that I can use my plastic tomato twine stuff and get either cucumbers or something else to grow up and over, giving me room for other things to grow in here. So on this one, I have a one of these supports down here to hold the eggplants up. But I'm going to use those supports, I think, to really experiment with what I can grow in this in this garden. So I'm gonna put this one on and I'm gonna pop it in here. And I really went back and forth on what I wanted to try to grow in here because there are so many options. I'm really sad that I don't have, that my chamomile didn't start, but I think part of that's my tops didn't stay, the top of my soil didn't stay wet enough. And so I think I'm gonna try them again and put these little seed houses on and hope that they actually take off. But I'm also not gonna hold my breath because it is what it is. It's already hot out here. I need to water pretty soon. I want to get all this stuff done before I water so I can water in whatever seeds I plant. But it's like almost 8:30 in the morning and it's already getting hot. Our heat index is supposed to be about, it's supposed to be like, feels like 100 or something like that. But we're going to be like 90 with lots of humidity. All right, this is on. Okay, now I'm confused. They sent me an extra bracket. I was very confused for a second. I'm like, how do you miss one? All right, so what I'm thinking here, let's see if these seed houses will work with this on. I haven't done them yet. Oh yay, look at that. This creates like a little greenhouse effect. So what I think I want to do is on this one, I'm actually gonna plant a Kajari melon. I can use this to help support the melons. And the seeds are a little older. I'm gonna put 2 in, but I'm only gonna let one grow. So that will be Kajari melon. We're really going out of the box here. I am gonna write on here what this is with a chalk marker that hasn't been used yet apparently. So I'll need to take this off when I water this pocket, but this at least tells me what's planted right now. And then I can put it back on. Okay. I actually really like these little seed greenhouses. Now this is not going to protect against the pincher bugs, so that's a problem. But hopefully we are going to get that resolved. I'm going to take the little strawberry things that you can hang from here, and I'm going to hang a few with some oil in it. I need to verify which oil I can use for that, and then that'll tell me whether or not I'll be good for using canola or vegetable oil. So I need to be aware of that and see what works. cutting down tree branches over there, and they just hit the power lines. I'm gonna have to remember all these goes. This is really unfortunate. Actually, I think I'm gonna go get the hose and water this as I go. So, be right back. Here's what we're gonna do. Take that off. Three is not going to be too hard to forget. It's on the left of that plant. Turn this to mist. I'm just going to do all these pockets that are empty. Now this is not going to last long if it rains because it's chalk marker, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we won't get a lot of rain. I am going to take a picture so I know what's where when I'm done today. So if it does rain, I have an idea of what's where. The biggest thing is these have the little seed houses on them. And that's going to be the Qatari melon. Okay. And then over here, on the top, I'm doing these yellow wax beans. Beans seem to be doing good in the GreenStalk. And so having a different variety of bean is always a good thing. So I'm popping beans up here. Oh, I was gonna have something climb up. Shoot. Hold on. I forgot about my plan. I'm missing a plant. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Scratch this plant. Where's those seeds? I just planted you. Well, I lost those seeds apparently. I'm going to plant a cucumber in here. I'm struggling over there, so maybe having these in a different spot will help. I'm going to do 2 seeds again. If the beans pop up, I'll take them out. I am going to do 2 cucumbers here also because I'm going to do another round. I was thinking maybe I can have cucumbers grow around one of these also. this one's going to be squash. And I may regret this, but we're going to try here. Alright, so the rest of what I'm going to do are I'll do one rutabaga. There is definitely a reason why I wanted this container to be almost all basil, because I love basil. Basil has so many different varieties and flavors, and some have great health benefits. The one that I had just planted was holy basil or sacred basil. It's an adaptogen. I actually buy that in bulk to make tea, and love it. The other varieties that I'm replanting here are blue spice basil, which tastes like has like vanilla undertones to it. I redid Thai sweet basil for my husband, and then I also did a couple more lettuce leaf basils again, and a purple basil. And so I tried to replace where I thought that they were in the planter. I'm really hoping these take off. If for some reason this set doesn't, I'm actually going to restart the basil inside. There's a long enough growing season that I'll go ahead and restart them inside and allow them to grow up a little bit and then put them out. Or if I get one plant to grow, I'll cut a cutting and root it in water and then duplicate it. I really, really, really love basil. And so I'm really hoping these seed houses are going to help. I will say so far, just in the last few days since I've recorded this, having them planted back a little bit closer to the water did help, and having the seed houses on did help a little bit. So we'll see as they continue to grow up. I also, on the top of this planter, decided to plant some purple bush beans. I think they're called Royal Burgundy or something like that. But another bush bean to fill in the top space for now. I will say one of my biggest tips for container gardening is you have to water. Water leaks out. You also have to fertilize more frequently. As you're watering, the nutrients are coming out the bottom with the water a lot of times. And so even if it's rained, I will go out and I'll stick my finger in about an inch or two down and see if there's moisture down there. If there's not, I water. The green stalks have to be watered much more frequently than these pots do. These pots have a wider space opening, and so when it rains, it actually can catch more water in them. So just keep that in mind if you are in an area that has a lot of rain, that you're not just seeing that the top part of the soil is wet, that you know that down where the roots are actually has moisture. Okay, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning now, so I've been out here for quite a while. Beans have been replanted, so every pocket I planted 2 more seeds back closer to the water. So what I am trying to do is when I do transplant, I plant them up here, but if I'm doing seeds, I try to plant them back further where it's closer to where the water drips in there. And so I'm trying to be mindful of how to best keep things moist. And I think that's going to be the best bet. And then I did off camera plant some more radishes in that radish tub, and then with the carrots I planted some rutabaga seed, so we'll see if that does anything. But other than that, we got basil planted, we've got some stuff planted over here, we replanted the beans, everything's been watered. I think it's been a productive day. I'm really hoping these little baby rabbits don't wreak a bunch of havoc, but it is going to be what it's going to be. So I hope that you enjoy today's gardening day, and that you stay tuned. I'm going to do a video soon on how I did my metal. I have a few metal planters and I need to plant stakes that I need to make some more of. And so I'll do a video soon on how I'm doing that. And then I will start having some kitchen videos again soon as well. Plus it's going to be time to fertilize because we need to make sure these things continue eating. And that one container with the zucchini in it definitely needs some fertilization quickly. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back on the next video.